Hey guys, sorry that took so long. I just had to get everything set up. Okay, so let's see. What's up, Dedexi, Essence of Kawaii, Emuli? Will there be any Photoshop tutorials in the near future? Unfortunately not, because I don't really have like a setup to do Photoshop tutorials because I do all my drawing on a tablet. And I've tried using OBS with that tablet before, but it doesn't really work because it's so laggy. Okay, let's get to this Lobsterman. So I got the shrimp guy, and then the brawler as my reference for this guy, because this one's kind of like the hulking melee version of this little shrimp dude. So let's get into it. Should be a pretty simple animation. A lot of this isn't going to be meshes, so that's not going to take that much time. It's the bodies. This part right here is all of the meshes, and then the rest of it's just like super easy. Yeah, if I ever get like a setup that allows me to do it, though, I definitely do some live drawing. I've done live drawing before, you know, like in front of like an audience and stuff, so I'm definitely used to it. Okay, so let's start with the usual hips. About right there. So I'm gonna make that a little bit straighter. And that's the head. He's not gonna have a neck because of the angle. It's the first time seeing like this, so welcome Dental Key. We just started, so I go through the whole process of how I animate these characters, starting with like setting up the skeleton, the rig, like the controls for it, and then I go into the rest of the setup, which is usually like painting weights. So these bones will have individual weights on certain pieces of this character, because the character itself is cut up into different pieces to make it easier to animate. And then we go into the actual animation after we've done all the setup to create this character. So it'll be cool. So from the head, we'll have both sides of the mouth, and the top parts for the mouth, and the bottom. Okay, and then the eye, and the eyelid. And probably the brow, because I'm going to have him blink. And I might have some other controls for the cheek, but I'll get to that later. So let's see, what do I got here? This is the right side. And as usual, I'm going to try to finish this within 3 hours. We'll see how it goes. I'm assuming that this will be an easy animation. Okay, Okay, so that's all the face stuff. On top of that, we're going to have a control for this part right here, which I've labeled the nose. Okay, so then the clavicles, which will also have the arm. And then his cool weapon here. Okay, there. So let's name those. Which one's this one? Oh, the hips. Okay, I didn't name those yet. So what do these guys do? Damage only? Yeah, they're pure damage dealers. Oh, they're a lot of their damage comes from bleeds, and they apply enough meaningful debuffs that they can also be considered like a secondary debuffer. But most of those debuffs are like minus dodge or I don't know. I don't remember. But he's a deadly one. He does a lot of like really hard bleeds. And then this weapon right here, this fishbone thing is like that's like the attack that has the potential to crit bleed for really high damage, but it can only target the front line, so just make sure you have tanky frontliners and you're good. Have you talked to Claire about making this mod MLD compatible? Yeah, we'll have it compatible when I release it. Right now everything's still work in progress though. What's up, Akale? How you doing? What is this? Left side, yep. And then the knife. Yeah, so he attacks with this one for the big bleeds, and then he attacks with this one for like little debuffs. Oh, and he also has 2 actions per turn, so he's a super deadly character. But he's not as tanky as the big crab dude, so he's definitely killable. Like, if you focus him on turn 1, you could kill him before he gets his actions off. And he has slightly below average speed. I think he's like speed 6 in game. Hand left. That weapon looks like something that would pierce armor. Yeah, in MLD. I'm still pretty on the fence about having enemies have armor piercing, because I don't really have like a way for the player to know when an attack pierces armor. Of course, I guess it could be hinted by the name, like piercing whatever. But I still feel like that'd be super cheesy if you're just like stacking prod and suddenly you take like 20 damage, even though you have like 60 plus prod or something. So most of like the armor piercing stuff is like prot debuffs. That's really what it is. Okay, how do I want to do this legs? I'll probably do all these separate from the body actually, because he's got so many legs. And there is some like stuff here for this leg. It's just all black, but I'll definitely need that. And then here as well. These back legs are actually going to be meshes, because I've separated the foot and the leg for these front legs, these like more noticeable ones, but the ones in the back that are like halfway shadowed, I made those just one piece, so I have to mesh those. But it's a super simple one since it's only 2 bones. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I did it for this one too. Yeah, that could be a bit powerful to shred through tanks, but it's a cool concept. Yeah, for sure. But I'm pretty sure it won't be a big deal for MLD, because players will know that that's a thing going in. But since I'm balancing this mod for the vanilla, I don't want to do any unsuspected surprises from a basic enemy, like I don't want players to get attacked and wrecked by a basic enemy and not know why they got wrecked. And that's like a problem with that would be like something that would happen from an attack that's armor piercing versus a character that has high prot, is like the player spent all this time stacking this prod, and suddenly the enemy has an attack that just ignores it. Okay, so that's all the legs. Can you be paired with the big crab? That would be 4 actions just with 2 enemies. Yeah. I've made sure to have it set up so that the enemies, there will only ever be 2 enemies that have dual actions in the same party comp. So it'll be a total of 6 actions on the enemy side. But that only appears in rooms, and outside of rooms, you can only meet one of the dual action enemies at a time. So you won't run into 2 of these dudes in the hallway, but you could in a regular room. So it'll be tough fighting that many actions, because what that means is you can't stun lock these guys, because you actually lose actions by fighting a team like this, since they have more actions than you. So you just have to kill them straight up. Or kill them straight up, use dots, or use riposte, because dots are twice as effective against these dudes, and riposte effectively give you way more actions against these guys because you can kill them twice as fast. Why'd I call this hall? It's because I was talking about hallways. Will there be a mob in the Abyssal faction that can counter the Abomination, since this blade is really good? Nah. Like, the Abyssals are strong enough that, there's, very specific weaknesses they have. One of them is Blight, for sure, because they're all weak to Blight. And probably the other one is anything that would reduce their prot, because they all have prot as well. So if you can bring things like that, where they just go through it, then, good for you. It's just keep in mind that bringing something like minus prot, bringing an attack that's minus prot, will do nothing against the harpies. And it'll do enough against the cultists that it's probably worth it, but there's still some cultists where it doesn't matter at all. And then bringing something like Blight also means that it's almost useless against the harpies, and then the regular cultist dudes are somewhat more resistant to Blight, so you gotta watch out for that. So foot right 1. Yeah, so if you bring in Abomination, have fun with your blights, because you'll wreck most of these guys. Plague Doctor also wrecks these guys pretty hard, just with the AoE blight. And the stun's also super useful against the harpies. I'm still trying to think of why you'd never bring a Plague Doctor to any dungeon. Probably if she gets moved or something, then it would suck. And I guess there's a decent number of moving attacks that these enemies can use that I've implemented. But we'll see. Whoops. What? Foot right 2. So I named something wrong? I did. Okay, so now I can name this the correct name. Would it be possible to animate a mob so that, for example, it breaks the weapon with a powerful attack in the middle of the fight? Just wondering. Oh, like their own weapon? Yeah, for sure. Not like the player weapons. You can't do that in the game right now. But yeah, they could have some weapon that they use only once. That's what the Harpy Mancatcher has, is a one-use weapon. Okay, so that's all the legs. Got the torso, there's the tail, so let's do that. It's pretty simple. Okay, so what else is left? He has these shoulder things, and this one right here. So how would I do that? So there's the elbow there. I think that's good. And we'll have the shoulder be a separate one as well. Have this be separate. Okay. Yeah, their own weapon. Yeah, you could definitely do that. The Harpy Mancatcher has like a net attack, so she throws the net and then that's it. Like, she's done with the net. She'll never throw the net again. I'm going to attach this to the upper spine. Wherever that went, here it is. Okay, what do I want? I'll have a cheek control because I think breathing, I'm going to try to have this look like it's breathing. Here as well. I think that's it. I think that's all I want. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it looks like that's good. I'm just trying to think if I'm missing anything on this right now. I guess these little hanging bits, I could do that. Okay. Had a thought where some big ass mob would use a super powerful attack on second or third turn, breaking the weapon and debuffing itself for the rest of the combat. Yeah, that'd be cool. I have a lot of monsters that do like transformations where they like shift their combat style, like they break their weapons or they gain an additional weapon or something. That's like a lot of the mobs that I made for this dungeon. Okay, and now I think everything's good. Okay, cool. So I guess we could get into, first we gotta put all these pieces where they need to be. All of the feet can go outside of the hips because they connect to bones outside of there. So let's do that. Is this just one piece? Yeah, it is. This is not one piece, so I gotta find the other one. There it is. What is this? Oh, the other leg? Okay. Is there one here? Yep. Sounds awesome. Can't wait. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to like get this gigantic mod done because there's a lot of things I think are really cool in it that people will like. Okay, so that should all be good. These all connect to the left arm, so I gotta find that. Here it is. I think I forgot to name. Yeah, I forgot to name the elbow. The thumb. Okay. Luckily, all of this isn't meshes, so that's like really easy. When we get to that part. It'll just be like this big body right here is probably gonna be really hard, and then this one as well because there's all these individual little pieces I gotta account for. And I'll connect this to left side, I think. Yeah. Yeah, cool. What's up, triple backflip? We just got done with the bones, and now I'm connecting all the pieces. That's what's happening. And then we get to the second part of setting this thing up, and then we can start animating. Where's the other arm? There it is. Looks like I connected this to the wrong one I did. Okay, so. Cool. I think that's the right one to connect to. Yeah, okay. Eyelid, eye, this one. Okay. What's the other pieces? Let's see. Torso, so that stays where it is, and then the shoulder. I think that's everything. Yep. Okay, everything's looking good. Cool. Is it possible to make a skill that bleeds self, and in order to use other skills, they must have a bleed tick? You can definitely make a skill that bleeds themselves, but I don't know of I don't know if there's a I don't know if there's like a way for I don't think there's a way to make the AI only use skills if they're bleeding. I'm not sure about that one though. This looks hard as hell. It's when you learn the program, it's actually not that hard. It just takes a lot of planning. Okay, well, let's get to the meshes. We'll start with the big one. Yeah, this is pretty simple since a lot of this is black, so I don't really have to worry about it. Just gotta worry about this. And put more separating points here. Okay, that should be good. I'll probably have this section controlled by one of the legs, just slightly. This part almost doesn't matter because it'll be covered by the back and the head, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Separate out over here, and some here. And down the middle. Let's see, some stuff here as well. Okay, that should be good. It's for a modded class, not enemy. Oh, for a class. Okay, so yeah, you could definitely still do the bleed self thing. And I'm pretty sure there's actually no way to make a skill lock out if you're not bleeding. Maybe when Color of Madness comes out, there'll be a bunch of like miscellaneous mod features that they add, and one of them might be that, but who knows. Okay, so let's bind this to a bunch of different things. So this leg will probably control something over there. The hips, the spine, breathing control, clavicles. Let's see. Yeah, let's give some to the head as well. Okay, that should be good. So a total of 8 bones. It might auto-generate on me, which would suck. That means I have to fix everything manually. Oh, I forgot these little things down here too. Okay, it did. That kind of sucks. So let's bind it to these little things. Okay, so I'm just gonna rough it in again. Because this auto generation was pretty bad. See, it's 234, so we're making really good progress on the setup part of this animation. Okay, so this the hip will probably control almost all of this. This is probably the most control I want to give to the leg for now until I adjust it. Luckily, the bone structure is super straightforward. Okay, so this is the other side of the spine, so that needs control on a lot of this. And of course I'm going to go back and adjust a lot of this. I'm just roughing in what I think would be best to start with. And that's looking good. Okay. So let's see, more control here. So I think I'm gonna give red control actually. Okay. It's looking good. If the model ever bends that extreme, I don't think it will. But it looks good to me. Let's see here. So let's work on this. So could use a little bit of work. But overall, it looks like I did a decent job at estimating where I wanted the control. Okay, let's see how that looks. I'm gonna try more control for purple over here. Looking good. Cool. And then this would actually need a lot more control up here if I wanted it to look good. Okay, so reduce the controls here. Just figuring it out. Let's see. I guess it depends how I want this head to move. It probably won't move that much actually. So that's probably fine. Angry Shrimp Man? Yeah, for sure. What's up, Koala? Can you explain how to do this step by step? For example, first you draw, then add bones, and so on. Yeah, let me just think about it. So I always start with like a sketch of what I want the character to be, like the initial concept. So in this case, I created this guy, and then I wanted to make a second shrimp-looking thing, like similar. So I made a melee version, and that was like this big hulking version, which is more reminiscent of a lobster than it is a shrimp, but that's fine. And then I drew it up. I finished the line art and I colored it. And then I usually bring it into the game itself to test to see how the colors look versus all the regular mobs. And if I like it, then I go back into Photoshop, and then I cut it up into individual pieces, as you can see, all these like individual parts, and then I use a special script to export the whole thing from Photoshop into Spine, and then that's where the stream starts. Is I export it into here, and then I set up like some of the little bones, like the effects skill, effects head, those stuff, and I did all the naming, like naming it specifically what it needs to be for the game to reference it, and then that's when the stream starts. Is when I start adding in the bones and then meshing and then straight to animation, and that's the whole process for it. Yeah. What's up, Dark Panda? Yeah, thanks, man. You came during a pretty okay time. I'm just testing the bend of the body right now with all these bones. So yeah, that needs way more control. Actually needs less down here, it needs more over here. Okay, so I think I went a little overboard, so let's pull it back. Okay, so I want it to have control in a lot of these locations. Kinda wanna redo this bone actually, so let's how do I do this? Something like that. Now let's rebind the bone. That way it's more connected to the shoulder, so it looks a little better. I'm actually okay with that. Okay, so let's remove some of that control. Okay, let's go back and try to make this have more control. Yeah, no problem, Mikhail. We're almost done with the body though, which is great. Then we can move on to the head. Fine with that. None of that needs meshing. Some of these back legs do. We'll do that later. So let's do the head. Should probably added controls for these whiskers. I'm gonna do that after I finish this. So this doesn't matter because it's all blocked out. Okay. And then line up around the teeth. Okay, so then some stuff around the brow for when he blinks. And the eye. Let's see here. So this is a breathing control, so I gotta put some stuff there. Okay, looks good. Yeah, I think that'll be enough. Okay, let's add those whisker things. Let me think where I want to add it. Yeah, I definitely want to add it here. Probably have this one connected to that. Here. Okay, so let's name these whiskers. Okay, and then let's mesh this. Bind it to them. So here, here, brow, and these points. And that should be everything. Yeah, okay, cool. And I just forgot, I'm going to go back to the body and actually add the controls for the breathing thing. And it auto mesh, so that's unfortunate. So let's just add the controls for this one. Okay, testing it out. Okay, so I want more over here. Okay, I just have to be subtle with it, but that's good enough. Okay, so let's go fix this mess. I'm actually going to bind it to the upper spine as well. I just gotta go in and fix everything. Okay. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to think how I want to do this over here. I think I'm just gonna rough it in. Let's see, we're approaching 3 o'clock my time, which is fine. Okay, that looks good. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I think that should be good for a rough outline. Okay. Okay, so let's test some of this out. So definitely need this one to have control here. This'll definitely be the most complicated mesh we're gonna have to work with on this character though, so that's good once we get it done. Good enough. I just gotta be careful with the movement so that the shell over here doesn't overlap like that when I'm animating. Shouldn't be too big of a deal though. Oh, I connected the eye to the wrong bone, so let's fix that. Okay, I'm actually liking the rough in that I did for that, so fixing that should make it look really good. Let me just look at this guy for a sec. Yeah, okay. So this should be good for a blinking control. Maybe a little less control up here though. Cool. What's up, Element 5? How you doing? We just we finished the bones a while ago, like the skeleton, and now we're working on the mesh for the face, which is the most complicated part for this character. Okay, definitely need work. So I need a lot more control up here. Okay, let's check it out. That's better. Okay, so more control down here for purple is good. How you been doing, E5? Anything cool happen? Okay. Of course, this is a little annoying that this one's not moving, but I just have to do that as well with, I'll just have to move it in unison with this during the animation. Otherwise, that's looking okay. Maybe, something needs to happen here. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, why is that happening? Everything's looking good. Maybe a little bit more control down here would be great. Okay, so now the controls up here aren't looking so good. So if the mouth ever opens that wide, I don't think it will though. And I just gotta keep this in mind. Let's fix that control. Nothing major today, just working on stream video stuff. Awesome, dude. Okay, so I think this should be good for the whisker. Maybe a little bit more over there. I've been meaning to ask E5. Have you actually played Vermintide yet? It's a really fun game. Okay, so it's gonna need less control here because it's pulling in areas I don't want it to pull in. Okay, that's much better. That one doesn't have controls yet because I didn't add any. These two are never gonna move, so I don't have to worry about those. It's only this one that I have to worry about, and that looks good to me. Okay, let's do this little one. think that's good. Yeah, all things considered, that's pretty good. Okay, those look good. Cool. Let's try, okay, let's make this control now. Okay, so it needs more over here. Pretty good. Let's reduce this a little bit. Cool, I like that. Okay, so I think that's everything for the face. Cool. Someone bought it for me and I've played a few hours. Never tried the first one, but I'm enjoying the team play. Almost Gears of War-esque, but warmer. Yeah, for sure. A lot of people compare it to like Left 4 Dead. And I'm the same. I've never played the first one, but the second one seems really good. I'm not very Twitch aim oriented with my eyesight, but the ranged characters seem like a blast. Yeah, for sure. There's plenty of melee focused characters too if you just want to do like hack and slash. I'm building towards the fire mage, and one of her like subclasses is like a melee oriented version, and I'm trying to get that one because I really like the idea of it. Okay, so that's good. Let's do the other side of the mouth now. Okay. Then let's double up. Okay. Never played Left 4 Dead, but that makes sense. Are you playing anything else in this spare time, like Slay the Spire? No, not Slay the Spire. I've only played. Let's see. I play a lot of like free-to-play games sometimes when I'm bored. I just want to like burn time. I've been playing Path of Exile like a few hours once in a while, just like you know, I just like grinding in that game, just like leveling and stuff. It's super relaxing. I've been playing a card game called Eternal for a little bit. It's like super free to play friendly, and it's not like super it's not like a super interesting game, but it's just like fun to mindlessly play for a little bit. And then on weekends, I usually play with my friends. We just recently got back into like the tabletop version of Warhammer, and I've been enjoying painting and building all that stuff. But other than that, like other than working on this mod and other stuff, I don't really play any other games. Okay, so bind that to the head and these bones. This one too. Just need to bind that to here, those ones as well. That should be everything. Yeah, chill games for sure. What's up, Cogfuck? How you doing? Welcome back to Dexy. Yeah, stay as long as you want to, dude. We're on the meshing part, and we're actually almost done with the meshes. These are like the 3 main meshes, and then these ones in the back are super simple, so those shouldn't take too long. And then we can get into animating this character. Okay, so it didn't auto-generate, which is great. So let's just rough this in. But yeah, chill games for sure. I don't play any games like super competitively anymore. I used to, but now it's like I just want to relax. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so that should be a good rough out for what I want. Okay, so obviously things need to be fixed, and this one should be connected to the thing. Oh, it's because I have this stupid thing on. Okay, so it needs less control on the bottom for sure. And just a little bit of stuff up here. Okay, let's check it out. You're constantly working on games. You kind of need the time off. Yeah, for sure. That's what I figured out is I just need like a few hours every day just to like mess around in like a game. Not use my brain for anything, you know? Okay, so this needs to actually have control here instead. Okay, lose control there. Okay, test it again. It's looking better. Let's reduce its control up here a little bit more. Cool. See what this one looks like. So that could use control. My buds in the game industry are all the same. It's true for me too. Oh yeah, I can understand streaming. Like, you would think streaming is just like all fun, but I can understand that it's like also equally work intensive. Like making all the videos in your off time and setting it up and having like a consistent schedule too. That's like insane. Oh yeah, the team-oriented play of Vermintide too. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's looking okay. Wish it wasn't. I just wish it didn't have as much control as it does. But I don't know if there's really a way I can fix that. I'll just keep it like that. So that should mean this is good if I'm happy with it. Which I think I am. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that the way it is. Let's do. How did I don't think I remembered to do these ones. Okay, let's fix those. Okay. Test it again. That's decent. Except for the control here, but I'll try to figure that out when I check these two out. So that looks cool. That looks cool. So why is it pulling here then? Okay, that should be good. Decent. Do you mind briefly breaking down the spine process from start to finish? You start with the concept and end with the animated character. What happens in between? Okay, yeah, sure, for sure. Give me a second. Okay, so usually what happens is I do like a sketch of the character as a concept to get an idea of like the mood and the gesture of the character, because that's usually when it happens is during the sketch, because that's the easiest place to get it. So in this case, when I wanted to create this character, it was because I created this guy, the shrimp, and then I was like, okay, I want another version of this guy for a different role. And in this case, it was a frontliner, so I did a frontline version of this character, which came out as this, which is more reminiscent of a lobster than it is a shrimp, but it's still cool. So I liked it. Then I refined the line art until it was near finished, like this. Then I put in some good testing colors, like just a rough like draft of the general color palette for the character. I bring it into the game, and I check it next to like a bunch of other characters, like the big crab and like this dude right here, to see if it matches pretty well. And depending on whether or not I did a good job, I usually go back and do revisions and do it again, or if I'm okay with it, then I finally go back to Photoshop, cut it up into the individual pieces that you can see here. Then I use a special script to bring it into Spine, and then that's when I go in and do like the extra things, like putting in the little technical bones, like the effects skill, effects head, effects chest, that type of stuff. I name it appropriately. Same with the animation. And then that's when the stream starts, is from there, where I have all the technical bones and all the naming stuff done, and then I just go in and do the bones to actually make the animation happen. And that's like the whole process. And then sometimes after I'm done animating, I bring into the game. After like a few weeks, maybe I go back and look at the character and I think maybe the animation can be tweaked a little bit. And sometimes I do that, but usually I don't. And that's usually my process for animating characters. Okay. Yeah, follow me on Patreon. Yeah, thanks to Dexy for the recommendation. I'm in like a process of the thing where I'm kind of struggling to make like really awesome looking poses for all of the generic enemies, so I'm just making sure that I'm spending enough time to really hone that down and create quality. Yeah, thanks E5, no problem. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad that a lot of people were curious about that, and I'm glad to go over the process of it. It's a pretty long process, to be honest, but I don't know. it doesn't feel like a long process when you actually just work on it. Okay, so this needs to be a mesh. This is connected. This is connected to the wrong bone. Okay, so let's do these easy meshes so we can finally get to animating. Yeah, no problem. Okay, I can actually get away with less bones here. Since this is literally 2 bones, so it's not gonna be like complicated at all. The only thing I actually have to worry about is maybe over here. Let's see. Okay, so obviously I want to make this animation good, but I also want to finish as quickly as possible. Because I've been noticing when I started doing these streams, they were like 3 to 4 hour streams, and now I'm starting to like hone them down to 2 to 3 hour streams, which is great. That means I'm getting faster, and yeah, it just means I'm getting faster, so that means I can save time and places to do other things. Okay, so now I bind it to 2 bones. I'm expecting this will auto-calculate and it would do an okay job, but who knows. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay. So I'm assuming this looks good. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that this actually has control on this side. I'm gonna go back and edit that for the body then. Because I would actually like for this to move in conjunction with it. Okay, cool. So now when he goes down, you can notice movement here, which is great. But yeah, that leg is good. That doesn't need any meshing. This one needs slight meshing as well. Okay, should be good. Find it here. Okay, and then we wait. So wait is what you're changing there, and it affects the speed at which it will animate. Yeah, so it's what the Dexy said. So it's what the weight does is it determines how the mesh will bend for each bone. So bending this, because of the way the mesh is, means that all the red is what this controls, so it can bend those very specific points on the mesh that I have added. Like that. So what that means is I can make like this super complicated mesh up here like this, if it lets me click on it. Here we go. So I can create something super complicated like this with multiple bones connected to it, and bend it around and make it look really pretty like smooth, like it's actually like flesh when he bends over and bends around, and still have that be only one piece rather than separating it into, say, 8 different pieces and then animating in a very specific way to give that illusion, I can actually just do it in the program, and it would save it would save a lot of like data, like it'd be like almost 1/10 of the size. That's just separating all the pieces, and it also makes it just easier in general. And this can, like, the usage of meshes and spine is actually really awesome. Like, I'm doing it super simple for like Darkest Dungeon animations, but I've seen people take like a 2D image and make it look like a 3D object because of like the way they would use the meshes. So it's definitely like really, really awesome. That's like one of the key selling points of spine, is that you can do this mesh work. Yeah, so it's one of like the coolest things ever. It's also how you get like those really awesome, like if you look at like the Countess, the final boss for the Crimson Court, almost like everything on her is a mesh. Like her whole back body is a mesh, her flowing drapes is a mesh, the fan's a mesh, everything's a mesh, and it makes it look really, really awesome when you see it like animated. Okay, so speaking of meshes, let's do all these little ones. So it doesn't actually look bad. That should be good. Okay, so then let's do his back legs. I was just in awe thinking about all the tassels and 3D feel of the tail and detail of the Countess. Yeah, for sure, that animation is insanely good. Like, you could imagine like how long that took Brooks to animate. Like, it's insane. And he animated that character in 3 different forms too, because if you actually notice, when she transforms to like the weak state where she's just about to turn into the big monster, that's a completely separate animation. So he animated the human Countess twice, and then he animated the big monster version, which is pretty insane. Okay. Let's bind it to the easy bones. I've had an idea for something that would work similar to the infestation progression. I'm thinking of animating a banner similar to the CC one. I was wondering if you tried playing with that a little. I actually did. So I've messed around with the infestation stuff once, and as far as I know, it's there's probably something that I missed because the way I did it didn't actually work. And I'm also assuming that only one infestation can happen at a time. So if I were to make a completely new version of infestation, which was like a brigand invasion, or like a brigand cultist incursion where they're working together, so you find those 2 comps in some areas, and label that something like brigand cultist, then it would override the Crimson Court one, so you wouldn't actually fight any Crimson Court mobs while that infestation was active. So I'm assuming that's how it works, because I don't really know. Like, that's the only way I think that the infestation would be able to work. So I have no idea. Yeah, for sure. That's something I wanted to do, is like brigand cultists working together and doing cool things. Yeah, Chris drew the Countess, and then the person who animates all of them is Brooks. I can't remember his last name right now, but he's the animator for Darkest Dungeon. He's done all the animations for it. Yeah, the Viscount's stomach changes colors as well. That's something like I didn't notice at first, but it was definitely really cool when I did the second time around. There's actually like a lot of like things modders can use in the game that are kind of like hidden in Crimson Court, in the Crimson Court's code. Like, you wouldn't think, like, if you look at like the Viscount's code, there's actually ways for you to there's ways to do like really cool things with different monsters and stuff, using like the code that's used for like the Viscount or the Countess or the Baron. It's really awesome. Good enough. The Crimson Court is definitely like a treasure trove for modding. This is pretty simple. All of these little legs are going to be super simple. Okay. See, I'm a really big fan of his Miracle Hero mods, but I can't get well with the healer one. How she works and how I should use her every time I try to use her in my comp. She either ends up dead or useless. Oh, and the Lamia. Lamia is kind of hard to use because she's got like every tool that you ever need, but she pays for it by being super weak and being like kind of spread out in all the different areas. Yeah, what Koala said. You just gotta build a party that can cover her weaknesses, and then she becomes like one of the best healers. I found that at high-end gameplay, like champion level, you usually want to bring a guard with her or something to protect her, because she's like one of the characters that could easily get one shot in a dungeon. Oh, how did they make him change colors? It's actually connected to the art. So whenever he uses a specific ability, there's like a thing in the code for art that's like change to this mode for this many rounds. And rounds is like game rounds, not turns that he takes. So there's like one where it's like change to this version, which is the one with the red belly, for like 2 rounds. And then change to this one with the white belly for like 2 rounds, type of stuff. That's usually how they do it. It's a pretty cool system, actually. I like it. I was thinking of using it, but I couldn't find like a monster where I could actually use it and justify using it. Cool. See, it's 3:30. We're basically done with the meshes, so that's really good. So I'm assuming we're gonna spend another hour animating. Okay. Sculpture boss at Cosmic Enemy? Nah, it's Eldritch. I don't think it would be Cosmic. I don't know. I'm thinking of making the Sculptor the final boss. Because my concept for the final boss actually is more of is almost less of a final boss than the Sculptor. The Sculptor's pretty insane. But I still gotta think about it. Because I guess when you think about it, the Sculptor really is the one who caused all the terror in the Sunken City. Yeah, some mechanic with most of the new enemies, yeah, for sure. you plan on keeping the third boss secret until now? Yeah, for sure. I don't think I want to release any details for the final one until I actually release the mod. I'm still keeping a lot of secrets with this, with the sculptor and the judicator. Like, you guys saw like previews of it, but they're pretty insane bosses. Like, I still have to do a lot of work on those ones. Okay, cool. Final mesh, the tail. Here we go. Okay, so probably good enough. Cool. Okay, so how many guys left to animate? There's a lot. Let's see. So I've done almost. I think I'm almost at the half mark for basic enemies, and then I've only animated one mini boss, and there's like 12 of them or something. So there's still a lot to animate, but a lot of that I'm probably gonna do in my own time. Especially the mini bosses, because those ones take forever, and I just gotta figure those out by myself. Okay, that looks pretty good. That does not look good at all. Okay, so is this dungeon has its own theme or use the same as the sea area? It's gonna use the town in chaos, the one that happens during the brigand incursion, unless I find someone who can do music. And I like the music that they do. Kind of looks similar to the Heart of Darkness. Oh, the sculpture? Yeah, I could see that. Where might I look at for the basics of the Sunken City lore? I know pretty much nothing as of now. A lot of it hasn't been published anywhere. I don't think it's actually been published. I've only released previews of it. But once the dungeon comes out, you can find like little tidbits of lore about the place. Yeah, journal entries. Yeah, there's a lot of mini bosses. You'll definitely have to spend a lot of time finding all of them. I'm suspecting that if you play the game, if you play through the dungeon for like 30 hours, you probably still wouldn't find all the mini bosses. That's what I'm suspecting. And I think that's also like my that's my estimated average playtime for everyone in the dungeon is about 30 hours. Yeah, the shrimp chariot, for sure. Okay, I think that's all the meshes. Okay, cool, guys. I guess now we can get into animating. Let's do it. So I'm gonna have this guy be 35 frames per second, or just 35 frames rather. I have to borrow the blink animation for this guy. Oh, I can't copy from separate skeletons, oops. Oh, there won't be any comics, unfortunately, for the dungeon. I'm not gonna be doing that. I'll have like I'll do some promotional art for it though. Some cool looking art that people could use as like wallpapers or something. But yeah, there'll be plenty of journal pages that you can find if you want to read those for the lore. Okay, so how do I make this guy look hulking? Probably use this guy's stuff. Interesting. I'm just checking out the brawler to see what it's like in there. Oh yeah, promo art like the Seraph. Maybe, we'll see. I gotta do a lot of like promo art for the thing. That'll be when I make it like a beta or something when I'm done and I don't have to work on as much art as I am right now, then that's when I'm gonna start like planning out all the promo stuff. So 1 and 17, 7 and 26. It's a little complicated for me. I think I'm gonna do 1 for now and see how it looks. And we'll use I'm just trying to think how I want what type of curve I want. I think I'm gonna use this. Maybe I could use Octo actually, I have that. I'll try that the octopus one. Okay, so up. Okay, let's mess around. Turn off image selecting. Okay, let's add octopus curves. Let's see here. I like the Lamias a lot, or Thralls, whichever one Lamia writes in. Yeah, I gotcha. Thrall. Yeah, simple-minded buff dudes. Let's see, art and animation and lore comics. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I put a lot of work into my mods, and I'm glad that people appreciate that. For sure. Thrall, Flag, Jester, and Houndmaster is so strong for base game CC. Yeah, Thrall fills a lot of like interesting party comps for sure. Oh, Seraph and Antiquarian, that's interesting. That's getting to places I'm liking. This head movement's kind of ridiculous though, to be honest. Yeah, just like how basic this is, I'm still like digging it. So I'm probably gonna try to emulate that in the motion for the final animation. See what this guy's doing. It's whatever. I like simplicity. Vengeance baiting. You're gonna have to explain that one to me, Koala. Do you mean like the antiquarian uses her protect me on the Seraph to like redirect the attacks onto her or something? Okay, let's try what this brawler's doing with the 5 things here. $7.26, cool. Protect me on Seraph, and after the first vengeance is even better because she also has a riposte. Guess it's true. Yeah, so you can... That's interesting. So you could like protect me spam on the Seraph even after she uses vengeance to give her like insane prod. That's pretty good actually, yeah, for sure. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty good. That way, even though she's at like below 1/3 health, she's still like super tanky because of all the prot the antiquarian gives her. Okay, so that definitely looks weird. I think it's good to... Yeah, it's the curve, that's why. Okay. Easy fix. So instead of octopus curves, let's give him whatever the brawler's using. So let's give him these brawler curves. Okay, yeah, so that's not working at all. See what he was doing, which was just straight lines then. I'm willing to try it. And for some reason, I don't know. I'm just reading what the brawler does to see why that works, because I like the brawler's movement and I want to try to emulate it in this guy. Yeah, Seraph is surprisingly versatile. Yeah, I uploaded that like last second. I'm glad you like the Seraph though, Koala. A lot of people are pretty polarized on her. Okay, so let's have him bend over some more here. I think once you realize her main usage, she becomes really good. That's interesting. Yeah. She's a. I think because she's so different, I think that's why so many people are feel so negatively about her. She's definitely not. Her playstyle is definitely very weird compared to other characters in like a more traditional sense. Maybe let's adjust that head so it doesn't look so weird. Okay, I'm assuming I'm on the right track. Some of these need fixing though. Yeah, these need fixing for sure. Okay, so these arms need fixing because I didn't put any movement in the second part of those, so let's do that. This is basically Shrimp Brawler, or like Lobster Brawler. That's the easiest way to think about this character. So this will probably look really funny when I actually watch it as an animation, so we'll adjust as we need to. Not to mention I have to fix a lot of this. Okay, let's see how funny it is. I still think her melee skill needs something more to be worth choosing over its ranged equivalent, though. Oh yeah, Vindicate versus Wrath. I can understand that. Jack of religious trades. I think our camping skills aren't really worth it anything. Aren't really worth anything, but her combat skills are pretty neat. A secondary religious character that can mark to use her well, yeah. Oh, camping skills are bad. Yeah, it's probably the religious thing for sure. I can understand that. And to be honest, I think I'm okay with her religious skills being pretty subpar because she's not. When I was designing the character, camping's not really like a strong suit of hers. It's more of the being able to defend and then suddenly becoming like a powerhouse when she's low health. But yeah, and as for the religious mark character, I'm definitely going to try to do one of those. Like a religious character that also benefits from marks. That way the Seraph has someone to hang out with that can actually synergize with her. And like religious comps. Yeah, that looks really funny. Missed something, didn't I? Okay, just fixing some stuff. Yeah, so the movement here is way too extreme. This arm's moving interestingly, so let's see what I can do. I'm getting there. It's looking a little silly with the arms for now, but it'll be cool. New character hype, yeah. I'm trying to figure it out in my head how I'm gonna fix this arm issue. This one right here for sure. Okay, so let's fix that. These ones don't have controls, that's weird. What time is it? Almost 4. Well. The Moon Harvest. I like the style that Color of Madness is going for, actually. The whole, like, the whole like ghost farm with crystals and stuff, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen something like that where it's like, of course I've seen crystal fall from the sky and hit somewhere. I've seen that before, but having like it turn everyone into like zombies and stuff, that's pretty cool. I like that, especially since they're all farmers. So there's like a lot of like archetypical like medieval farmer looks that they could go for and mess around with to make them look like really neat monsters with a unique identity. Because I've never seen anyone do like, you know, like a bunch of farm monsters before. Is this a D mod factory entertainment? Yeah, I'm more. I do like weekly streams, and every stream I do one of the monsters I'm gonna do for my dungeon thing. So yeah, you could say it's a mod factory. I want to fix this arm movement. This one's okay for now until I figure out something better, because I want to figure out something better for that. Plus I gotta keep in mind I gotta do the offsets as well to make this look really good. So it should go out more. Working on it for sure. I think the arm movement can be more exaggerated. And then I just gotta pull this over a little bit. This one doesn't move like at all. How can I fix that? Okay, so the clavicle actually moves a lot in this one. So the same should happen here. Oh, this is hard. What's up, Chobits? How you doing? If you if you have any questions, go and ask them. Well, I figured this out because I'm definitely struggling with this. I want this to go in more. So how would I do that? Probably just here. Okay, let's see how funny that is, because it might be too much movement. Yeah, it's a little bit. Okay. I think I can work with that. I need to work on this one now. My second Spine Pro cannot recognize DD Scale and Atlas files. Can you explain this problem? So it's probably because you're using the wrong version of Spine. So you need to use 2.1.27 in order to import the DD stuff, and that's also the version you have to use to export any custom stuff you do. Otherwise, DD won't read it, because they use an older version of Spine because that's when they started development, was with the older version of Spine. Okay, let's have this move in more. Oh god. Okay, so it doesn't look like he's really holding that knife properly, like steady at all, so I gotta fix that. Okay, interesting. Yeah. The exact version number, yeah, for sure. So let me check what it is here. 2.1.27. There you go. Okay, so okay, cool. Okay, let's do some fun stuff with offsets. Let's do some cool stuff with the arms. Strange. Yeah, no problem, dude. Okay. Hmm. try to figure this out. Just trying to get a good body motion now. Okay, and then set up the stuff. This one needs offset. Yeah, that looks really funny. I gotta figure that out. I think I'll figure it out slowly though. Body motion looks good. Just these arms. Okay. He's getting there, for sure. Liking where he's going. Okay, I did connect the effects, the dot effects, so that's good. Let me see. Probably afford to move this now. I think I'm just gonna have that be this. Let's try offsets. Oops. Oh, okay, let's do both. So there's a lot of movement in the arms, but I think I'm okay with it, given that this guy is pretty berserky. See the leg movements. Okay, so it's not controlling anything? The heck? Okay, where'd that go then? Here it is. Okay. It's a little complicated, you know, 6 legs, but it's whatever. It's getting there. Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't even touched the elbow yet. I'll definitely be working on that. The elbow. I'll just do these feet real quick because these should be easy. I also gotta do these things here, little dangly bits. Let's see, 415, cool. So I'm assuming, because I'm feeling good about this animation so far, that we'll be done within a half hour. Okay, that needs fixing this thing. And then of course blinking. Why does he blink twice? Okay, that probably was a mistake that I did earlier. For sure. Yeah, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's work on it. So this needs to be keyed like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And here it becomes 0.85. And it becomes hidden. I think that's it, yeah. Let's move that over. Oops. I don't think it curves. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Pretty nasty looking dude. Okay, let's do the eyebrow next. This one actually moves. I have to do the same, so I gotta key it. I don't remember if I did the size thing as well. I did not. Okay. And it rotates. Okay, good. So I rotated it slightly. Probably like this. And then I gotta do the brow as well. See how I did that? Okay, movement and rotation. Sure, reducing the movement of that just slightly. Reduce the movement some more. Yeah, it moves a lot. Okay. Cool. Let's do some swinging with the tail. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have this tail just animate on one frame. See, he goes up. So let's have this tail kind of curve like that. Cool. I think that actually adds a good amount of stuff to it. Okay, let's add offsets. Let's see where all the frames are going. Okay. So something I've been trying to do is trying to get as many frames on different keys as possible, so different like positions on it. So this many positions is pretty good, and I'm trying to fill in like the gaps in between. Usually when I do that on my animations, it looks nicer for some reason. I'm pretty sure it's like some like fundamental thing that animators should do or know, but I'm not an animator, so I don't know it. But I'm learning as I go. I'm just looking at this guy to compare. %, prot with 6-3 bleed attack in Cove incoming. Nah, dude. What's up, Asil? What's up, Joe? He's not 50% prot, don't worry. I think he's like 10% prot. He just hits really hard. I'm gonna try to fix these legs somewhere. I think I'm okay with the leg movement, never mind. I don't want too much movement down here. There's already enough movement in the arms. Crab people, yeah, dude. Let's just make this nose tip around a little bit. Okay, so let's do the breathing. And this has to line up with the one in the chest as well. Cool. What else is left to animate? These little tidbits and the whiskers, I guess. That's about it. Okay, so let's offset. He's looking good, I like him. Cool crab man, lobster man. Okay, let's see these little whiskers. Okay, so oh, interesting. This can move some more. I like that actually, that's pretty cool. Some of those I'll probably keep where they are, but I'm gonna move some of these slightly. Okay, let's hide the brawler. I'm thinking he's done. Looks pretty done to me. I'm trying to think what else is left. Oh yeah, that's right, the elbow. Let's do that before I forget. Okay. Barely noticeable, but it's something. Let's do the thumb. Cool. I think that's everything. Just looking at them to see if there's anything I noticed that I want to change. So far, so good. Let's just check the bones. See if there's anything that's not moving. Everything's looking good. Okay, I think he's done. So I'm gonna load him up into the game after I delete some of this stuff. Pretty awesome. I'm happy with that though. At least I'm happy now. We'll have to see what he looks like in game. Okay guys, so give me a second to go load that up. Sharpening his sword. Haha. Interesting. So you guys can look at that while I go load this up. Okay. Who knows, maybe he looks horrible in game, we'll see. Okay. So it should be loading up now. Okay, cool. Just give me a second to go download that. And then we can check him out in game. I think he looks pretty cool. I mean, given I just animated him, so I kind of don't have fresh eyes on him, but I think he's looking good. Okay, so let's pause that, and then let's go check it out in game. Pause the soundtrack.
Ruin has come to our...
Okay, so let's see. Ah, crap. Didn't download yet. Okay. Let me just double check. I did. Okay. Or did I? No, I didn't. Okay. That explains it. Crap, people feels good, man. Yeah. How big is this? It's not that big, so it should be done. Okay, so should be downloaded this time. Let's go check out some crabs. Huh, you thought it was the loading screen? Nah, dude. I didn't make a mod like that. Okay, let's go bring Dismas and Reynolds to their demise once more.
Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead. Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
Okay, cool, it's our turn. I think he looks pretty good. Death? Yeah. He is death. Corroded Shiv, piercing broadbow. Yeah, I'm okay with his movement actually. That's pretty nice. I don't see anything that's sticking out as like really weird on him. Now we got Big Crabman over here. He doesn't look off either with them, so it's cool. He shapeshifts, yeah. he turns into groupers. That's his power. I keep staring at him to see if anything pops out again in game, other than the fact that there are a bunch of fishes in the forest. Yeah, spread out, yeah, for sure, but unfortunately, no. It's probably just because of the way I drew him. He's pretty wide. He's a pretty wide-looking dude. Same with this one, because this guy's sideways, he's pretty wide as well. But yeah, I understand what you mean. Cool. Okay, well, yeah, I'm liking him. I don't see anything that's really bothering me. Make spread out configurable? That'd be interesting, yeah. Thanks, Orc with Ukulele. I like that name. I play 40k a lot, so I love it when I see Orc with a K. He's swole, not wide. Yeah, the dancing lobstermans. For sure, dude. You're gonna find a lot of really interesting enemies. There's still one. Enemy I want to animate. I'll probably actually do him within a few weeks for the Abyssals. He's like a roly-poly. I think he's a really cool enemy. Just kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. Wog. Okay, guys. Well, that'll be the stream then. So next week I'm gonna be animating a cultist, like an honor guard. He's gonna be like a big dude with a shield, super buff. You know, he's actually like really wide. He takes up a lot of space on in this thing too. If you liked any part of this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I do these animations every week, and we've been going strong for like a good while now. I don't know how many weeks I've been doing this, but every week I'm consistently being able to animate, so it's great. Plus, you know, this is good for me too because it helps me keep a good schedule as I do all the work for this. So, yeah. Okay, I hope to see you guys next week. Okay, bye.